Good morning, friends. I am Dr. Nitish Kumar Mishra. How are you? Fine. Thank you. I am also fine. And let us start figure of a speech. Okay? Today topic comedy. What is comedy? Do you know what is comedy? A comedy is a work in which the materials are selected and managed primarily in order to interest and amuse us. The characters and their discomfigures engage our delighted attention rather than our profound concern. We feel confident that no great disaster will occur, and usually the action turns out happily for the chief characters. The term comedy is customarily applied only to dramas. It should be noted, however, that the comic form, so defined, also occurs in prose, fiction, and narrative poetry. Within the broad spectrum of dramatic comedy, the following types are frequently distinguished. At first, romantic comedy, as developed by Shakespeare and some of his Elizabethan contemporaries, in is concerned with a love affair that involves a beautiful and idolized heroine. The course of his love does not run smooth but overcomes all difficulties to end in a happy union. Many of the boy meets girl plots of later writers are instances of romantic comedy. In the Anatomy of Criticism, Northam Pride points out that some of Shakespeare's romantic comedies involve a movement from the normal world of conflict and travel into the green world, the forest of Arden in As You Like It, or the fairy haunted wood of A Midsummer Night's Dream, in which the problems and injustice of the ordinary world are magically dissolved, enemies reconciled, and true lovers united. Second, satiric comedy. Satiric comedy attacks the disorders of society by making ridiculous the violators of its standards of moral or manners. In Volpone and The Alchemist, the Shakespeare's contemporary Ben Jonson, the greed and ingenuity of one or more highly intelligent but racistically swindlers, and the equal greed but stupid gullibility of their victims are made grotesquely ludicrous rather than lightly amusing. Both of these satiric comedies end unhappily for the rocks who are their protagonists. The comic effect is sustained, however, because these personages have been rendered in such a way as to repel rather than engage our sympathize. Okay, and next, that means third, the comedy of manners. The comedy of manners was early exemplified by Shakespeare's Love's Labour's Lost and Much Ado About Nothing, and was brought to high polish in Restoration comedy. This force deals with the relation and intrigues of gentlemen and ladies living in a polished and sophisticated society and relies for comic effects in great part on the wit and sparkle of the dialogues, often in the form of repartee, a witty conversational give and take which constitutes a kind of verbal fencing match, and to a lesser degree on the ridiculous violation of social conventional and decorum by stupid characters such as would-be wits, jealous husbands, and foppish dandies. Excellent examples are Kingreaves' The Way of the World and Wycherley's The Country Wife. Farce. Farce is a type of comedy designed to provoke the audience to simple, hearty laughter, belly laughs, in the parlance of the theatre. To do so, it commonly implies highly exaggerated or caricatured character types, puts them into improbable and ridiculous situations, and makes free use of broad verbal humor and physical horseplay. Farce was a component in the comic episode in medieval miracle plays such as the Wakefield plays Noah and the second Shepherd's play. In the enduring English drama, farce is usually an episode in a more complex form of comedy. For example, the knockabout scene in Shakespeare's The Taming of Shrew and The Merry Wives of Windsor. Brandon Thomas Charles Aunt, however, in American play of 1892, which has often been revived, is a true farce throughout.